in that 20-year period which Amar Sinhaji was referring to, less than 20 years. It is there that he put his Satyagraha model of politics to a test. That's why Mandela used to say, for Gandhi, India may be his motherland, but South Africa is his adopted land. It is the Karma Bhumi for Gandhi. It is of course Karma Bhumi for Mandela. Gandhiji's Karma Bhumi had been India also for a very long time of about 25 to 30 years. But the question is not about which part of the country, which geography one belongs to, whether that suffering is my concern or not. No, wherever there is suffering, Gandhi had a message. And Gandhi had a program. You have to tackle it by being one of the oppressed. You can't be outside of them. And you cannot become a preacher. You have to become one of them. When Gandhi came back in 1914, if I am not wrong, what I read I am only mentioning, he landed in Bombay those days, Mumbai today, and decided to go to Wardha or somewhere and work for the downtrodden people. The caste to which he belonged decided to outcast him for breaking certain norms of the then society. He was not dissuaded by that. He went ahead with his program of uplifting of the masses by being one with them, by giving a sense to those people that we are all together, we are all one. Mandela too practiced same politics. He lived among the masses. Gandhi and Mandela never had any enemies in their life. They had adversaries. Politics, you are in public life, you are bound to have adversaries who do not agree with your program. But that doesn't mean they are all your enemies. In Gandhi's case, he had adversaries within his own Congress movement. He had to endure difference of opinion. He had to endure rebellion. Not from those who did not fully agree with him, even with those who were supposed to be his own choices for India's future. There was an interesting correspondence between Gandhi and Nehru in late 1945, 2 years before independence, over which economic model to be pursued by India post the independence. Nehru violently disagrees with Gandhi. He says, I never believed in this concept of Gram Swaraj. Your whole concept that India lives in villages and all, I never believed in it. I no longer believe in that. These things bound to happen when you are in public life. You can be at loggerheads on issues. But in the larger interest of the people, of the nations, can we rise above them? It's very difficult. I mean, especially looking at today's politics. When we have ended the racial apartheid in South Africa, we have ended caste-based untouchability in India, but we have invented new apartheid and new untouchability in the form of political untouchability. If you are from so-and-so party, I have nothing to do with you. You see the example of Mandela. In 1996, when he received the Nobel Prize, it was shared with those very leaders who were seen by the people as the oppressors. He shared Nobel with de Klerk, the then head of the government. Mandela didn't hesitate. Because after all, for all the differences, the whites and blacks in Africa had to live together. They continue to live together. This is the kind of vision, this is the kind of politics that you find in Mandela and in Gandhi. And both led very transparent lives. These days it is very difficult to find transparency and openness in public life. What you speak and what you really stand for, both to be same, is rare to find today. But Gandhi's life was an open book. In fact, I read somewhere that Gandhi, this whole controversy about women, Gandhi, etc., some people, take a very, very negative stand. I read that when Gandhi slept, he used to keep all the doors open. He never slept in a closed room. Such was the extent of transparency in life. Nothing in my life is hidden. Even if my views are seen to be changing, there Gandhi had the courage of courage of that conviction. And there is admission that, okay, in the complete works, if you find one statement in 1915 to be contradicting another statement in 1945, take the latest. Because as you grow in life, as you gained more knowledge, more exposure, more experience, you will refine your ideas. But to admit that needs courage of conviction. That's the kind of transparency we find in Gandhi. That's why Roma Rolla said that Gandhi is like a messiah. For the Indians, he is Mahatma. But for Europeans, he is an avatar of Jesus Christ. In fact, I came across an interesting story somewhere when I was traveling in Europe. The Chinese in Netherlands, they had a particular day on which they are mandated to go to a temple to worship. They didn't find any temple, but they found they learned that there is Gandhiji's statue somewhere. There was a queue to worship Gandhi. So he is seen as a kind of a divine personality. That's why probably many great leaders, they took inspiration from leaders like Gandhi and Mandela. Mandela visited India, I think, in 1990. And he only spoke about Gandhi. How Gandhi shaped his whole political thinking. Today, that legacy is what the world needs the most. When you see conflict, when you see violence, when you see the new kind of apartheid, new kind of untouchability in our public lives, it's important that we brought back the legacy of Gandhi and Mandela. with all due respects to all those political differences one can have. One may disagree with Gandhi, one may disagree with Mandela. There were disagreements in South Africa with Mandela. There were opponents. But those were on programs, those were on policies. We have seen opposition to Gandhi's policies, Gandhi's programs in India. But what kind of public life and political activity that we have to pursue in all the democracies in the world? I think it is that legacy of which Mahatma Gandhi and Madiba Mandela are the shining examples before the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ram Madhavji. Thank you for this very illuminating and insightful keynote address. Well, we're sorry we had to start. You were stuck in traffic. But last but not the least, I have the honor of inviting Shri Kumar Prashant, Chairman of the Gandhi Peace Foundation, to give his remarks on this occasion. Shri Kumar Prashant, of course, has been activist right from the early days, associated with Jayaprakash Narayan, and of course he both lives and thinks and perhaps imbibes all the values of Gandhi, and while he heads this foundation. The floor is yours.
Respected Ram Madhavji and all the dignitaries on the dais and friends. First, let me express my late coming here, sorry for that. This 2nd October is a very difficult day for us. Some days before 2nd and some days after 2nd. A lot of programs, a lot of demands on time and energy and work, everything. And especially this year, from this 2nd October, we are going to celebrate 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. So it is a special occasion all over the world, in India also. And we are going to have so many programs, so many initiatives throughout the year up to 2nd October 19. So this is a cause for delay. I think you can pardon me for this. The late coming has no excuse. I was asking Sachin Chaturvedi ji in which language I should speak. He advised me to speak in both the languages. So I will begin with Hindi and I will end with English. अपनी बात शुरू करता हूँ 15 अगस्त 1947 से 15 अगस्त 1947 हमारे आज़ादी के आंदोलन के इतिहास का एक बहुत ही ख़ास दिन है। जब हम आज़ाद हुए और इस आज़ादी के दिन जब सारे देश में बड़े पैमाने पर उत्सव मनाया जा रहा था, धूमधाम हो रही थी, उस समय इस सारे आज़ादी की लड़ाई का जो सबसे बड़ा सेनापति था महात्मा गांधी, वो इसमें कहीं भी नहीं था। इतिहास के इस क्षण पर जब सभी लोग ऑन स्टेज होते हैं जीत के समय, nobody like to share defeats, but everybody claims to share victory. and that was the time of our victory. But Gandhi was nowhere. He was in a very remote corner of Calcutta, हैदरी मंजिल, बालिया घाट में एक टूटा फूटा सा घर है जिसको हैदरी मंजिल कहते हैं। उस घर के एक टूटे फूटे कमरे में गांधी उस दिन थे और सारे देश में जो सांप्रदायिक दंगा छिड़ा हुआ था उसका जो एक सबसे खराब रूप कलकत्ता में था, जिसमें अनगिनत लोग मारे गए थे, उस आग को बुझाने की कोशिश में गांधी उस हैदरी मंजिल में बैठे थे। एक विवेक की आवाज़, एक समझदारी जगाने की कोशिश, try to touch the human core in everybody, every man and woman. और जब उनकी इन कोशिशों का बहुत नतीजा नहीं निकला